Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Deva Veronica Salsabila, nickname Deva. I am from a religious study. I am here to read a page of reading wisdom I took from only learning is about eschatology, the end of life, which I will mix as correlation with a claims that is developing throughout in the world, the coronavirus. Here I will explain about eschatology. First what I understand about eschatology itself is the sense of the end of history of human life. The sense of human death. Eschatology is derived from Greek, namely eschatos and logi, study of. So it can I interpret the eschatology is a study that is focused on the heaven. Outside of that, in the Islamic world we know various kind of the history of the Quran and the hill that talk about life after death. I think that eschatology means the end of time, which is almost the same as the English escalate and is used in theology terms to refer of the rebirth of the saints at the end of time. With this eschatology, there are several other terms and meaning, such as the second coming, the resurrection of the flesh, the judgment and kingdom of the thousands years, and the saints, or things, the praise, the end of the age. If we talk about the end times, then a talk is usually focused on the fate of someone who is determined at the judgment held at that time, but the Bible is actually more include to talk about a fulfillment of the kingdom of God, which include every earth, humans, and the universe. Only things about life after death. That does not mean annihilation, but release from the body and soul. This is just a shift from one world to another, and from one state of life to another. Therefore, human life will continue after death, although in different form. All people in this world are very diverse and various. The things and habits of life that they live every day, they really believe in the existence of good, and therefore they certainly believe in the existence of the final day, where the end of all the good lives of humans, plants, animals in the world. But there is still many people who do not believe in the existence of good and with the end of time or the last day. Therefore, we as human beings who have a religion and believe in the existence of good and of the act or the end of the day, we must learn everything in religious that we believe can lead us to a bitter path and can lead us to heaven. Therefore, we must know what is ordered by good and what is forbidden by God. As humans, we must obey God and the religions we believe in. We must strongly follow what has been commanded and stay away from the good has forbidden. In the religious that we believe also has a long history, and not only that, religious certainly will also be talked about and time. We as human, of course, there are still my who do not understand and ask a question about end time knowledge, and if anyone asks about why was we as humans must study. Of course, there are still many who do not understand and ask a question about end-time canal, and anyone asks was a human study or understand this end-time canal or what is called eschatology. Then the answer is we need to study this eschatology because this is history, and history will not run by itself, but in relationship and supervision of our good history will lead of perfect fulfillment if we are led by a good religions that we believe in. If we talk about the end times, we will return to the faith of someone, some who is determined the judgment held and that time, namely is second coming of tears. However, is fact the Bible itself more inclined to talk about influence of the kingdom of good, which include the renewed earth. In addition, there is also the tendency to pay attention to a future. That is the moment that suddenly comes with symptoms, the trouble of natural phenomena, destroying this earth, or when what bad people will punish and righteous people will get punished. But in the Bible it is shown that there are two stages of type of end time, namely the first made in the Old Testament, namely about the arrival of a Messiah from the descendants of David, the Son of Man who descended from heaven, and the Savior who suffered, while the second, namely as fulfillment of the meaning of the coming of church to this world. In other words, the end of time can also be at the ascension of Jesus until the second coming of Jesus. The meaning of the end of this act can be seen as a consummation of what was done by the coming Messiah in the new covenant. In the book of Hebrews, in emphasis that the end of the act is here now, namely of the priest of church here. Herman Hoeksema said everything in creation witness not only being but also an end, just as we cannot think of the earth without of being, or so like we cannot think of the without end. Herman Hoeksema also said that the split of world is limit of this correlates with the increasing number of living beings in this world. we accordingly Lois Berkov did give eschatology into two, namely the first individual eschatology, namely someone who did for this come to second, the move from the present to the to the good to a good to come which is eternity, meters pointing to the condition of individual between death and resurrection of the dead, including in personal eschatology, namely physical death, eternity, and the condition between death and resurrection of the dead. Whereas the second is the eschatology concrete with all humans, namely the saints, the present, the second coming of Jesus. And no ideal correlation between eschatology and the epidemic. There is no developing in this world the coronavirus. Coronavirus is very dangerous. It says outbreak today. Many scholars claim that this is a sign of the end of time, where many strong occurrences and many dangerous, it says, outbreaks. Of spread of virus outbreaks actually does not only occur in modern era, but I existed since syphilis go. In fact, the Prophet Muhammad had also advised how to respond to pandemic that arose in certain regions. Usman bin Zaid said, "The Messenger of Allah said, the plague is the that Allah sent to the group of Bani Israel, or to the people before you. So, if you heard there is an epidemic in regions, that you enter that area, and if you in area affected by the plague, do not you go out and run anywhere from it." Hadis riwayat Bukhari and Muslim. Although historical, the plague was once defined as a doom, but for Muslim plague can be a from grace. Aisha radhiyallahu an once asked the Prophet about the epidemic, so that the Prophet said plague is a kind of punishment that Allah sent when He wants. In fact, Allah made in mercy for Muslim. No one is struck by the plague that he stands in his high place friendly and expects the reward, also knowing that he is not affected by the calamity because God has predestined it to him. So he gets reward like the reward of a martyr, as explained in Quran Surat At-Taghabun verse 11. There is no calamity that befalls someone expired with the permission of Allah, and whoever believes in Allah, surely Allah will give instruction to his heart, and Allah is all-knowing everything. And this also been explained in Quran Surat Al-Ma'idah verse 5. On this day everything that is good is good for you. That food of the book expert is lawful for you, and your food is lawful for them. And women who guard the honor between women who believe and women who guard the honor among these who were given to book before you, if you buy their daughter to marry her, not by means of adultery, and not of adultery become a domestic woman. However, this belief of belief that their character will be in fine and the will be among those who have lost. Also explained in Quran Surat Ar-Rum verse 4. It has been said that the of land at sea is caused by the deeds of human hands. Therefore, is coronavirus is closely related to eschatology because this coronavirus is a plague which, according to the scholars, is a sign of the end of time and was as humans must understand and understand about eschatology itself, and we must also believe in the existence of good, and we must also believe in the end of time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.